Okay, so we're looking at 3C, question 3. Question 2 we've done.
Yeah.
We've spoken about. Yep. So question 3 we're looking at a very similar type question. All right. Where in the past, again, like I said, we had 22 out of 35 for a test. If you times it by 100, you'd get given the percentage you got. All right, which was 80% on that occasion. Too often, or in the past, we've always looked for this unknown. All right. In both of these questions, 2 I've just gone through in question 3, you're given the percentage, and it's one of these things you don't know. Okay. So in his last snooker match, Neil successfully potted 96%. So 96% over here, that's how you should set it up straight away. Of his long shots. If he attempted 75 long shots, how many did he get in? And again, that's the unknown. So again, it's on the top, and it's going through that process of opposite operations.
What happens if it's on the bottom?
If it's on the bottom, opposite operations.
Okay.
Okay? Same process. You might do a divide where you might have done a multiply in the past. Alright? So good thinking. Alright, Monique? So, Monique, for you, what you need to do is just break down each question, take it a sentence at a time. Often I fear that you're not reading it carefully enough, and then it absolutely becomes all too confusing. Okay? So you need to try and maintain your focus. 2, 3 and 6, I think you said. Holsty, I'll go through 6 as well.
So that's 3 done.
Yeah. Well, you know, once you do that, it is. Question 6. Nicky is part of a syndicate that owns a racehorse. He owns 28% of the racehorse, who last week won $18,600 in the Derby. How much should he receive from his win? Do you think there's a way of doing this wrong, Jay?
Yeah.
Yep. Which way would you do it?
You'd go like 28% at the bottom. Like, and then like, oh no.
So it's
Yeah, no,
slightly
18
different now.
18,600.
If this
At
is
the
question
bottom.
is slightly different to any question you've had, to the questions we've discussed.
Like,
So slow down and read it carefully. Monique, I'll be asking you next. So how much did the whole horse earn, Monique? $1,860?
Wouldn't you just go like
18,600. The whole horse earned 18,600. That's the whole horse. But Nikki, she only owns.
you put the 28% at the top, wouldn't you? And then like the unknown would be like at the bottom, wouldn't it?
Monique, is there an unknown here? So Holsty, the best thing I reckon for you to do would be to go back to some of the examples where we're trying to find a percentage of an amount. Yeah? So if we look at this one again, we're trying to find just the simple answer is we're trying to find 28% of the whole bit that he earned. We're just trying to find 28% of 18,600.
28% times 18.
Yeah, that certainly means times. What does 28% look like as a fraction?
28. Under, yeah, above. Unknown, x. Wouldn't it?
We know.
Oh, no. Yeah.
You got yourself confused by being away. You need to go back and look at things. Okay. So that's one of your basic tenets, Monique. That's something we've gone through time and again. I don't feel you're in the zone either. Of means to multiply. 18,600. 28 divided 100 times 18,600 is Nikki's proportion of the win. She only gets 28% of it. She doesn't get the 100%. You too could benefit by looking back at examples. Okay? All the examples are back up there. All right? So use them to your advantage. Okay, I just want to have a look at these questions down the bottom of this set of questions. What you need to understand is as we get down to 9, 10 and 11 of a set of questions, all right, or whatever it is towards the end, they are far more difficult than at the start. And in a test or an assignment or something like that, you'll only get maybe one of these, all right? So don't panic if you can get everything prior, but you can't get these. All right, over time, hopefully you will develop yourself to understand these. But they are designed to be tougher, and they are designed to stretch your thinking more. I feel like some of you get uptight about that and say, I can't do it all. Well, the more important ones are back there, and these are the problem-solving ones. So these are the important ones to try and take you to that next level. Okay? I'm going to go through it relatively quickly, but slow me down where you need to. All right, Alex? The children at a camp each had to choose one of canoeing, hiking or swimming for their afternoon activity. Have I been through with you the fact that there's a lot of words in questions that don't matter? All right? I have been through that. So the important ones here is they had to choose one of canoeing, hiking or swimming. So we've got canoeing, hiking or swimming, okay? And then it goes on to say 45% of students chose canoeing, 18 children chose hiking, and 15 children chose swimming. All right? Now, the strategy we're trying to use here is we're going to try and find out what 1% of the population is worth. Is it worth 9 kids? Is it worth 7.8 kids? Is it worth 1.2 kids? We want to know what the 1% of kids is worth, okay? And so it's a problem-solving activity where we say, if this takes up 45% of kids, how much does this take up? 55%. This takes up 55% of all kids. And if you remember back to the questions above, once you've got a little bit of information about the same subject, you can find the 1%. Remember we did that? And I think I've spoken about it. So if we had 18 children added to 15 children, it ends up with how many children, Taylor?
Oh, yeah, 33.
33 children in total have chosen hiking or swimming, which makes up 55% of the population. So if we did a simple calculation, which we did before, where we always put the percentage on the bottom, we'd be able to find what 1% of the population is worth. What is it, Jack? Struggle to concentrate, didn't you? Yeah. Can someone do this, please? Yes? 0.6. 1% of this student population makes up 0.6 of a child. Okay, 1% makes up 0.6 of a child. What is 45%? Because that's what we want to find out. How many children were at the camp? We want to know how many children chose canoeing, because we've got how many here, we've got how many here. We know it's 33 so far, but we don't know what this is. It's in a percentage. What do we have to do to the 0.6, do you think, Alex? This is 1% of the population. We want to find out what 45% of the population is. What must we do with this 0.6? Connor?
Times by 45.
We need to times it by the 45. If this is worth 1%, let's just say 1% was one child. Okay, 1% was one child. How many is 2%? 2 children. 5% is 5 children. And all we're doing there is multiplying it together. We want to know what 45% is times 0.6. Okay, 45 times 0.6. Sorry, 27. Thank you, Beth. 27 children. I'll keep the language the same. 27 children therefore participated in canoeing. Have we answered the question yet, Nikita? Why not? Loud voice, I can't hear you mumbling in behind your hand.
Not quite yet, because we've only got the 27 students that went to New
Yes.
We haven't added the rest on.
Yeah, awesome. Because how many children were at the camp is the question. The problem is the people that I'm trying to explain this to are choosing not to be engaged and listen, which is frustrating. But I guess you can pick it up on YouTube later. I'm sure you'll be committed to your studies to do that. We've got 27 children pick canoeing. We've got 18 children from the question that chose hiking. And we've got 15 children who chose swimming. Cheyenne, in total, how many people were at the camp there? How many? 60? 60 children were at camp. Okay? We did that by finding 1% of the population and moving forward from there. In terms of question 10, many food and drink packages come with labels like this. Yes, we've seen them. For example, this food contains 4.5 grams of protein. Protein being there, contains 4.5, which is 9% of the whole daily intake. Use this information to find the recommended daily intake of energy. So energy is here. Okay, how can we work out how to do that, do you reckon? Woody?
By putting in like 4.5 grams and then divide it by 9. And you've got 1%.
Yes, so we've got our common theme here is 4.5 grams divided by 9%. We always put that percentage one on the bottom. Those that are familiar with this will understand that. 4.5 divided by 9 gives you 0.5 is worth 1%. That's 1% of that. Okay, and then energy is 10%. So how much from that information is your daily intake of energy? Garrett?
8,700 kilojoules.
And how did you get 8,700 kilojoules?
You find 1% out of it
Which was? How did you do that?
with the exact same
Process?
as what you did with the protein.
Good. 870 divided by 10. What does that give you? 87?
Yeah.
You can help Garrett out there. Ash? Times by 100? What's that give you? 8,700? Woody? That's alright? You okay with that? 8,700 what? Kilojoules or grams?
Kilojoules.
Recommended daily intake. Would it be grams or kilojoules?
Energy is kilojoules.
Energy is kilojoules. Good.
But so why would it say look like 0.25 grams and then it says like